If you're a North American Hunting Club member, you've no doubt seen Thompson Center's You Call the Shots feature in North American Hunter magazine. Now, it's your turn to join us in the field on actual hunts. You'll be faced with the same decision as our panel of experts. Mr. Whitetail, Larry Weishuhn, Managing Editor of North American Hunter magazine, Dave Moss, and Gordy Cron, Editor of North American Hunter magazine. The action happens fast, so get ready for Thompson Center's You Call the Shots.
Whitetail deer hunting, all of us really dearly love it, and I know you guys have hunted Texas a little bit, but to me there really isn't any place but Texas to hunt whitetail deer, especially during that time frame when those bucks are coming antlers and the rut's getting ready to go into full swing. And you can see 2 or 3 bucks at a time just kind of moving around.
Buck chasing a doe right there.
Buck chasing doe, but there's no more fun to me than getting out there rattling.
Texas is just such a great destination for wildlife. The terrain really lends itself well to a different number of hunting techniques too.
This instance, we're down on Bruce Keller's place down close to Kerrville. And as you can see, he's got some pretty good kind of deer. It's a very well managed piece of property.
That is a giant 5x4.
He is an absolute beautiful. He came to horns just exactly the way you want him to. He is easing up there. Got the pistol right there on the cross shooting sticks. I mean, everything is just about perfect.
Well, the thing that isn't perfect about this for me is that this deer got so close so fast. And he's a calm animal. I'm not too worried at this point that he's going to bolt. Larry, I don't think I'd take the shot here. I mean, that white patch on his neck, that's not a target in my book. I would rather just let this whole scene just play out and possibly get a broadside shot on him.
Gordy, I think I'd agree. He's come into the horns head on, which they often do, and although he's 20 yards away, you certainly could make a neck shot. It would have to be just below the chin, but I think if you just don't do anything at this point, that deer's probably going to want to go back towards that shade and you'll probably get a quartering away shot. So I think I would be waiting just a little bit here.
Wow, what a buck. This bruiser is a trophy in anybody's book. And to have rattled him in, Dave and Gordy both recognized immediately how special this deer is. However, they would both pass on this frontal shot and wait it out. What would you do?
It's a very interesting situation. I think anybody that looks at this buck from the moment they'd have seen him, they would have never waited to this point to say whether or not they're going to take the shot. This is television, and so sometimes you have to milk the footage a little bit more than what you would otherwise. And I've been out simply hunting. Let me tell you something, I'd have shot that deer from as soon as he stepped out. Sure. He'd have been laying on the ground, especially with having a good solid rest and he was being very, very close. But as we'll see here in just a second, what actually did happen, he saw some movement behind us, he turned around,
oh boy,
and there he goes.
Now that's a sight that haunts you for a while, those big old antlers. Talk about the biology of that shot though, that neck shot.
I'd much rather shoot a deer walking directly away from me and take what I'd call a Texas heart shot everybody does, rather than in the neck. The neck is a very low percentage shot in my estimation, and I just won't take one that way. We came back 2 months later, this is several times hunting this deer, finally found him in an area where we thought we might have a chance.
So here you've got a rifle instead of a pistol?
Here I've got a rifle instead of a pistol. We were hunting an area that I knew the shot might be out to 300 yards. I wanted something in that instance that I felt was going to put the deer down real quickly, and there wasn't going to be a question about whether or not I was going to shoot him if I saw him again.
That's a big-bodied deer for Texas.
The deer was big-bodied, but he was extremely wide too. He ended up being right at 27 inches outside, and I mean, not that spreads everything, but when they get that wide, they become very interesting.
The way he went down, it looks like you hit him right on the shoulder.
I put the crosshairs right at the very top of the shoulder, came down about 1/3 of the way so that you could put that animal down very, very quickly.
So it's a case of good things happening to those who wait?
Don't ever give up on a deer. If you find one like that, he may move around a little bit. You may have to change your tactics from rattling to find a food source as we did here. But when you find a deer like that, don't ever give up on him. Keep going back. Sooner or later, you might just get him.
North American Hunter is brought to you by Gander Mountain, we live outdoors. Block 4x4, the originators of open-layered archery targets. The Polaris Ranger, hardest working, smoothest riding utility vehicle you can buy. Federal Premium, every shot counts. Cuddyback digital scouting camera, longer battery life, faster trigger speed. And by these other fine sponsors. North American Hunter is a production of the North American Hunting Club.